I'm lazy. You're not visible. So we're at the beach eating chicken licken, drinking wine.
So what up guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Musa and this is Sia, as you all know. Today we are at the Sun Coast.
At Sun Coast Casino.
Yeah.
Sun deck. So today we just thought of relaxing. We just thought of relaxing out at the beach.
So yeah, this is just the time to, unwind and just
distress. To kind of forget about all of the mess. Or maybe to kind of organize, regroup. But at the moment we're still eating.
So you guys, I don't remember, our last video was when we were at the beach. We were somewhere there, we were doing a Q&A. Not many people asked us questions, like we got 3 questions from...
No, we had a lot of questions, but it was from a few people. Some people are kind of scared to ask us questions because, I don't know, they just thought that we were somewhere up there in the clouds. But I was expecting for more questions from people. But then later on, I did get questions from people when I tried to kind of interact with my own personal channel. My channel is Siyabonga Ngogo. It's basically just going straight to the point. On my channel, no, actually on my Facebook, I asked people to ask me anything, and the main question that they wanted to know was who's top and who's bottom. Are we gonna answer that?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Is it important for them to know?
I don't know. If you want to answer them, it's okay.
I don't think that is important to you. There was another question that revolves around the duties in the house, basically. As if we're married. We're not as yet married. We're still dating. But with the duties in the house, responsibility is supposed to be equal.
Yeah.
If one person can be able to contribute more to the relationship than in any way or form, then they can.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think it's the same. Like, relationship is just like it's a mutual thing. And I believe in a relationship, you get what you put in. Just like in any relationship, in a business relationship or it's a partnership, even a group work at school, the amount of effort you put in the group, that's what you're gonna get. And you can't just put less effort in the partnership or the relationship and expect more out of it. So it's up to you. What you put in is definitely what you're gonna get out. So, and again, there are special cases, of course, as you said, if the other partner or the other parties can somehow put more effort than the other, they can. For example, in a group work at school, if maybe one of the group members is sick or is somehow unable to come to the group meeting or whatever, the other group members can do that for him. You know what I mean? So it depends on the situation and if y'all are willing to actually continue with that person and do their work, and if they are willing also to kind of come back and maybe put on more effort. Basically it's all about thinking about the next person. Whenever you're doing anything in a relationship, think about the other person, and the rest will just
fall into place.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I would say that whenever you're in a relationship, you replace the I.
I just beat myself.
Sorry. Like that.
That's not too much.
In a relationship, we replace the I with the us. Or we, for example. Whenever you think of washing clothes or something, it has to be not only I am going to be washing my clothes, we are going to be washing our clothes. When we're thinking about cooking, you're cooking for us. When we're thinking about going out, we're thinking about us going out. Everything is in plural. well, almost every day. Is it plural? Obviously, with your studies, you can't do that in plural.
Yeah, what he's saying is true. Like, at the end of the day, there are some things in a relationship that can't be shared, like studying. Well, we can, for example, he's doing law and psych, and I'm doing medicine. Yes, we can somehow try to push each other and say, okay, study and do whatever. But at the end of the day, it's an individual task. It's something that one person should do.
And I'm lazy.
On their own. You know, I can't study for him, he can't study for me. But other things, just like, you know, room chores, if maybe he has to clean, we somehow share those, you know. Today he can clean, I can cook. Tomorrow he do something, I can do something. Basically, that's what's called mutual relationships. Not one person doing, you know, or if we like, you know, have roles and be like, oh, one person will always cook and one will always do dishes or whatever. It's no longer mutual. Like, it can be mutual in other relationships because they, you know, it's what they prefer.
I call those conservative relationships.
But at the same, well, I feel like, you know, people should do what they're comfortable doing, you know. So at the same time,
that's where we differ.
Yeah, because at the same time,
sometimes
let's take that couple for example. A couple where a guy maybe prefers to just do guy's job, or whatever, to do plumbing and do whatever, and a woman prefers doing cooking and all that. That's their preference, and I can't call that being a conservative or whatever. I can't call it. It's what they prefer and feel comfortable in, and people should do what they feel comfortable doing. For example,
sometimes the people are not necessarily comfortable in it. It's just that society requires that they should be doing that thing. For example, as he has already explained, a woman will be doing cooking, cleaning, and all the chores in the house, and a man would have to provide and stuff and then come back and, you know, basically give all his remuneration to the woman. That is the conservative viewpoint. I, on the other hand, prefer a modernist kind of viewpoint whereby everyone has to share chores equally, well, not equally or relative to their abilities. For example, if a woman is basically a qualified engineer, then they will have maybe for example they have architect, you know, they can do architectural designs or something. Then they can be able to do outdoor jobs better than the guy who is probably maybe a doctor or something. You know, the qualification that you get from the university can also be, and like can actually change how the narrative in a way.
I don't know if you are against me or you are with me, because what you just said just justified what I just told you. Because when people are in a relationship, it's all about preference, and a woman might prefer going out and doing the garden. I'm not saying
that I'm against you. I'm saying sometimes the way that you put things sort of sounds backwards.
Tell me, guys, if anything sounds backwards here. If your woman prefers doing gardening, and you as a man prefer cooking, and that's all you do, you say, you know what, Mena, I will stick on cooking because that's what I do best, and when you do the gardening because that's what you do best. Is that thinking backwards?
No, you're putting it right now.
What do you mean?
In the camera.
Okay, then okay, let me twist it then. A man now prefers doing gardening and a woman now prefers doing cooking, and they stick on what they do. Is that now different from what I just said? I just switched the roles. And that's what they feel comfortable doing. So,
okay,
which one is backwards? When a man is doing cooking, or when a man is doing, I don't get it.
I think that if you're gonna be in a mutual relationship, then at least teach your partner the task that you have done. For example, if you're an architect and you prefer outdoor work, and maybe your partner is a cook and prefers indoor work, then teach your partner how to cook, or teach your partner how to do outdoor work. Preference, yes, that's nice, but then at the same time, sometimes you would want a break from this outdoor work or indoor work or something.
Why would you want a break from something you enjoy and something that you prefer doing?
I mean, repetitive things. Sometimes you do not want to repeat the same thing again for a long time, and repeating something for an elongated period of time actually just makes you tired. There's a theory in industrial psychology whereby a person would start by loving their job, because obviously it's their job, and then later on they end up resenting it because of the fact that they have to do it again and again in a repetitive manner. If you have to do the same thing again and again in a repetitive manner without having any breaks in between, then at some point in time you are going to feel disconnected from it. So this is where I come from. I'm saying that at least give your
and that's
partner.
not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that when you do something that you love for the longest time, you're gonna now hate it. Is that a guarantee? Because I have a lot of people who've been in medicine since they were like, they graduated.
No.
And they did that for the rest of their lives.
No, I'm talking about people. I'm talking about within
chores,
within a household, in a context.
Well,
of
if
a household.
let's take for example, I know I go to work, I come back home, then I know my duties. I know when I come home, what I have to do is wash the dishes and cook. That's my home chores, and I know I will do that forever. Will that ever be boring? I don't think house chores are ever. I mean, it's something that you have to do. It's something that must be done at the end of the day.
Sometimes house chores are boring. I mean,
exactly. They are boring, but they can become a routine. Just like bathing, waking up and bathing and washing your teeth and getting into your clothes and going to work. That can be a normal. You can make it a routine.
Yes.
And
yes.
once it's something that has to be done. Just like waking up and washing your teeth and going to work.
Sometimes
the same way as cooking,
you don't want
it's something that has to be done.
Go to work. Sometimes you don't want to cook. Sometimes you do not want to.
But they have to happen. They have to be done.
This is where my point comes in.
Okay.
This is where my point comes in. If you follow, this is where my point comes in. Whereby sometimes you just don't want to do it. You want a break from it. With work.
Do you ever want a break from brushing your teeth and from bathing, Jay?
Yes, you do.
Do you want a break from that?
Yes, you do. Sometimes.
Because the thing is, there's some things they're just mandatory. They have to be done. They're mandatory. Like you have to wake up and do them. You have to wake up and do breakfast and eat. Those must be done. You know what I mean? The same way.
Sometimes. Okay.
Gardening, that must be done. It should be a routine. Uguti, who is doing gardening, who's doing the cooking, who's doing what. I don't think, I mean, especially if you guys prefer, you know, I prefer doing this. This is what I love doing. I love cooking. I love being in the kitchen than being in the garden. You know what I mean? So I feel like, you know, people should do what they like to do and stick on it if they want to. Exactly.
Sometimes you do not want to continue.
Then if you
this
don't want
forever.
to, then you can change. But some people have learned to go to some people, like many couples, they like sticking to what works for them. If you doing gardening and me cooking works for us, and we avoid all.
What if you get bored?
Get bored, you get over the bottom. Just like when you say, what if you get tired of washing your teeth? You will get over it. Tomorrow you'll have to do it anyway. You'll have to do it for the rest of your life. Get over that bottom or that laziness of brushing your teeth, but you will, at the end of the day, it has to be done. You have to brush your teeth, you have to bath, you have to cook, you have to do all those things. They're just routine, you know.
These routines though.
So yeah, that's how it is at the end of the day.
No, sometimes you just don't want to do it.
Then what are you gonna do? If you can't cook and that's what you do best, and we both know good, when you cook, when I do gardening. So when if you don't wanna cook, then what's gonna happen?
Well,
You have to come up with a plan. At least if we say, okay, now today we're not gonna cook, I'm going to. You have to make a plan because you're the one who knows. I mean, you're the one who's cooking. So if today you don't feel like cooking, make another plan. Maybe go out and buy food. And I'll carry on doing my gardening because I'm not bored of doing it. Tomorrow I might be bored and say, I don't want to do gardening. I will do it the next day. It must be done at the end of it. Those are the things that should be done.
that should be done.
Yes. And if you prefer, you can. If you can't do it, then hire someone to do it for you. If you think,
Exactly.
yes.
Then
If you have money. But if there's no money,
then why what are we arguing for? Because right now you at least understand what I'm talking about. Sometimes people do not want to continue with the same routine day in and day out. Sometimes you want to have a break. I mean, you even have a break from work. You have several holidays that you are
we
given.
do agree on that one. And
We have
do
several
agree.
holidays that you are giving. You just want to rest on your day.
Exactly.
And the day that you
But
are
at the end of the
given.
day, you know your routines. You know what you have to do. You have to come back to your routine and do what you have to do. Unless you have someone who's gonna do it for you for the rest of your life, just like bathing and brushing your teeth. Unless you hire someone to do that for you for the rest of your life, then you can take a break from that and be like, you know what, I'm tired of bathing and waking up and doing all. I'm tired of doing all these things, typing and all that. You can get a PA. You can get someone to do things for you if you're tired of doing your some things they have to be done. If not by you, but you have to get someone to do them for you.
Not all the time. Not all the time. Sometimes I'm talking about in a mutual relationship.
No, if it's a mutual relationship, then okay, let's say my roles are to do a gardening. Wana is to cook. So should I leave now gardening and come and cook?
Yeah, if I taught you how to cook, then
No, I don't know how to cook, and I know.
Then we can exchange.
No, let's say I don't know how to cook. No, guys, the video went off when we were still recording, so I don't even know where we ended up. But I think we'll just conclude that do what you want, you know. Do what you prefer to do. Don't end up doing things that you don't want to do. I guess. Is it recording what?
Solo, smoking good, rolling solo. 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 Rolling.
Okay.
How do you do that, man?
Huh?
How do you do that?
It's magic.
It's magic. You're gonna fall.
Solo. Smoking good, rolling 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 solo. 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 Rolling.
We're about to swim. This is like probably the first time. This is our first time coming to swim, right?
What?
This is our first time swimming, right?
No.
Yeah, we never swam. Like we just, all the time we just come here and walk by the shore. We never get inside the water. So this is our first time swimming together. So yeah guys, I hope this is gonna be fun. My battery's about, my camera is about to die, but I hope, ooh, what are they doing? So we're just gonna put our things somewhere here.
Solo. Smoking good, rolling solo. Smoking good, rolling solo. Smoking good, rolling solo. Smoking good, rolling